to tell you a story. This is a story about a young man whom the mafia cartel had an issue with for years. This young man had been posting mad, disrespectful shit about the mafia cartel and so forth. When he wound up speaking disrespect about Lopez Gutierrez, he knew that he was in trouble. And for every day for 10 years, his goons tried to give him up to their boss, but they failed every single time. Needless to say, one day, when he was walking down the street, the mafia cartel snatched him up. And one day, when he was on his way home, bear in mind, he was only 16. And when he himself was finally grabbed, he knew it was over. It was at this moment he knew his life was coming to an end. Or so they thought. Nay, or so he thought. After Lopez Gutierrez shot him in the back of the head. Bang! 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 After that, he went limp. He tried begging for his life, but it was no use. Then, up on impact, his cracked screened phone had been initiated to have been cracked ever since. And then on YouTube, on some new YouTube channels, only a few of them caught sightings of a male figure with a phone for a head had sought revenge on Lopez Gutierrez, but the rumors didn't reach him until he was losing profit. So he goes to his very own drug labs and his own protection rackets, and lo and behold, cold, emaciated corpses of his fallen gang members. Every single gang member that worked under him had been dropping left, right, and center like flies, crossbreed with a sack of potatoes and a sack of bricks. So he goes and finds out what is going on, but couldn't seem to get a good look at the very entity that was killing his gang members. From his heavy hitters to his attack dogs. One by one, all of the mafia cartel was dropping, vanishing, disappearing, and then reappearing and turning up dead, one by one, leaving Lopez Gutierrez left with his capos, lieutenants, and his enforcers, and his underbosses, and whatever was left of his underlings. His right-hand men were all that was left. And the newspapers going about the young man's death. The young man was known by the name Cena Parker, a young man from the very city. And it was a known city known as Mount Meyerson. Mount Meyerson is the very town in which it took place. And the very reason for Cena Parker to be killed is because he was badgering Lopez Gutierrez on the very concept and the very nature of him wanting to hook up with Vergara Gutierrez, the daughter, the Hispanic Italian daughter of Lopez Gutierrez. So he goes and has Cena Parker killed. Lo and behold, Cena Parker, a Mount Meyerson native, was killed. He was a half white, half Asian, most likely Asian American young man. And then from there, Cena Parker became Phonehead. He automatically filmed his murders of the mafia cartel members one by one, snapping pictures with his head, shooting videos with his head. Bam! And just like a tentacle wielding monster, the phone cord charger thing, or whatever, that the youth of Mount Myerson had described was scrawny, shoestrings sized, train track, long, electrical tentacles wrapped around and started tasing every single gang member to death. And up on the videos that were recorded on the very head of Phonehead, had snapped and sucked the souls, leaving emaciated dead corpses. And then, only then, when Vergara Gutierrez stopped protecting her father and just let her father be alone to face the consequences and so forth, Phonehead got his revenge. And then, after wiping out the rest of whatever was left of the mafia cartel, Lopez Gutierrez found himself isolated and alone. So, Cena Parker, better known by the local youth as Phonehead, an undead entity of a fallen young man who was killed by an overprotective crime boss father, ended up getting his revenge. Then the local newspapers started coming out. The headlines: Mafia cartel boss found dead in his warehouse, in his office. Phonehead wound up giving all of the footage and all of the photos to the local news and to the police of the grisly and graphic and blood-soaked and horrific deaths of the mafia cartel. The police station had been wanting to get these guys for 40 years. And ever since the mafia cartel had fell, needless to say, Phonehead hadn't been showing up or appeared ever since. And the mafia cartel's story was nothing but a ghost story, a cautionary tale that local youths around sitting at campfires at summer camps were telling, and each kid told their own version of the story. And then from there, Phonehead, who used to be Cena Parker, became a folkloric entity who once was a human being himself, now became an immortal entity and a folkloric creature of vengeance. And then the police were still looking for Phonehead, better known by his former name and his former identity, Cena Parker. The government was still looking for him. Private investigators failed to find him. It was like he was there for 4 years getting vengeance, and then he disappeared. As if he was a ghost. A very, very vengeful ghost. Then, upon hearing about Vergara Gutierrez or Gutierrelli wound up dying of old age. Her soul went into the heavens with the spirit, the very being that Phonehead used to be, as she was reunited with her long lost love after 50 years of her life. She meets up with Cena Parker in the afterlife, in the heavens, while her father, the one who killed Cena Parker, was in the 1,000 hells. Thusly, the statue of Phonehead and his long-lost love, who joined him in the afterlife, had her statue with him in the middle of a bronze heart with the copper statues standing in the middle, kissing, but not as Cena Parker used to be, but what he was known for as Phonehead. I hope you enjoyed this story.